Three, two, one.
You ready?
You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network.
Quack, 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 quack. All right, I'm gonna stop there. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. Hope you're all having a great start to your week so far. I've got a review for something I wasn't going to review because for once I was watching something without the intention of reviewing it, but go figure, here we are. I've got a review for the Mighty Ducks Game Changers premiere episode, which I have to get... to say that I'm surprised that, God, when did the third Mighty Ducks film come out? I want to say 98, I want to say. So it's been 96, pardon me. 96. So that's, oh God, math. So almost 25 years since we've had the Mighty Ducks in our lives. And full disclosure, I'm a huge fan of the films. Even the third one, which admittedly is not as good as the first two. I still think the third one has some merit. It just is a lot more pessimistic than I think a lot of people remember. Which, by the third one, kind of makes sense given where they're at and everything. But this version of the Ducks, we pick up with Alex, who's played by Lauren Graham. You, of course, know Lauren Graham from Bad Santa. That's honestly, if I ever met her, that'd be the first thing I'd bring up. You know her from Parenthood, and of course, white people's favorite show, Gilmore Girls. I do not understand why people love that show, but here we are. But seeing her in this, and I'm trying to think of how to phrase this, but I really think we need to give Lauren Graham some credit for being, I think, in many ways, kind of this generation's Meg Ryan. She really has just kind of turned into that mom character who's dependable but incredibly sweet, but you feel like she really does give a shit about whoever she's parenting and about her friends and everything. And genuinely, just even you could make the argument, obviously, that she's not stretching that much, but here is Alex, her, playing this mom role again. She has it down, it's, and she cares more about being a mom than Bruce Willis cares at this point in his career of being a cop. Being that role that you've done so many times, it should be muscle memory. Lauren Graham's got this shit down, and it really does work here. She is the mom to Evan, who's played by Brady Noon, and it was bugging the hell out of me because I could not remember where I've seen this kid from, where I recognize the kid from, but he played Thor in Good Boys. And I will say, the fact that he's in this, and the kid's 15. He's just getting going in Hollywood, but to see him play Thor and then turn around and play this completely different character, I gotta give him a lot of credit. That's some range for your ass already, which I'm really impressed with already. So, okay, man. But Alex is doing the single mom thing. She works at this not a law firm, but she works for the city, if memory serves. I don't think they actually really tell you what she does, but it's something like lawyer-ish, I'll just say. But she's doing the single mom thing, and Evan gets kicked off of the Mighty Ducks. So I appreciate about this show that we're almost resetting the franchise from where the first one started. Because if you remember from the first film, that the Hawks were, the big team in town. They were the ones running everything. They were, that premier club team, and the Ducks have become that in the universe now. And that's something I went, you know what? I really appreciate that. I did laugh really hard because apparently Hendrix is still sponsoring the Ducks even after D2, which I went, all right, that's, cool Easter egg. as far as believability, I mean, they've won 10 state championships. Sure, why not? But I appreciate the little Easter egg connections that they drop here. But Evan gets cut from the Ducks in a pretty brutal way by Dylan Playfair's coach T. And so he gets cut from the Ducks, goes ahead and needs to form his own team to go ahead and, show that games can still, that hockey and playing sports can still be fun. So there are actually some things I really genuinely like about this. It's, for a Mighty Ducks show, it's surprisingly pessimistic. And when I say that, I'm not saying like the show's mean-spirited or anything, but it really does show the characters kind of going through shit pretty early on. The mom's a paralegal, that's what it is, yeah. But the show starts off with Alex trying to get Evan to practice on time because, she is paralegal after all. But her work colleague, Stephanie, her boss even says, oh, she's such a great mom. She already, took her kids to hockey. But hey, could you stay behind and cover her work? It's, if you've worked in any office setting, that this is a thing that sometimes, does happen or that people tip to do. And I appreciate the fact that Stephanie's clear at this point in her life that she's going through the motions. She has this job. She clearly isn't fulfilled by it in the way that she wants to be. Doing the single mom thing. And I just have to say, I appreciate the fact that while she's, how do I put this? While she isn't executing as far as being the best mom, there are some things that she could obviously work on. She loves that kid. And that really does come across here. And Evan is just going through some hard times. He gets cut from, the team and everything. And so, but you can tell he loves her too. So there's not this giant, oh, the kid's a teenager and, fuck parents. You don't know. Like there's not that, which I'm really happy they're not going there, because sometimes you need to see that enough times and go, all right, I get it. Fine. But I really like that. So Evan has to go ahead and find his own ragtag group of kids to go ahead and put together. He recruits Maxwell Simpkins, who's played by Nick Gaines. Nick Gaines, you've seen, I think I've recognized him. He was in Book of Henry. There we go. So he's already something better than Book of Henry, just off one episode. And he was in the Netflix film that came out last year, The Sleepover, which I haven't seen. And just looking at the poster, doesn't look like something I'd enjoy. But what I appreciate about the kid too is that he is a part of, and the show's very clear to say, welcome to the Wraparound, the second most popular youth hockey podcast in southern Minnesota. And I have to say, I know these kids are, the Ducks are 10-time state champions, but it is a flat out like in NHL type intro. Like Ducks go out for this for like the team meet day. I can't remember what they call it. It's like team introduction day or whatever. And the Ducks come out and there's like flames shooting up and there's the screen showing like the Ducks logo. I was like, oh wow, this is a lot for 12 to 14-year-olds, juniors playing hockey. But you know what? Fine, whatever. But the biggest complaint I have about this show is that the minority parents, because Alex being a mom and everything, she does mingle with the parents a little bit while Evan is playing. And so Stephanie, her quote friend from work, takes out a iMac from her, takes out a laptop from her purse and immediately flips it open and goes, okay, we need to get on the snack schedules. The teams have not even been solidified. She's already like, all right, everyone, let's go ahead. Let's get on snack schedule, and looks at Alex and goes, let's make sure we're, embracing protein so we don't have a cheese puff incident again. And so, yeah, the kids apparently threw up all over the place, which, great job, Mom. But, Alex goes, well, they're made of real cheese. I mean, a lame joke, admittedly, but, whatever. But Alex gives a speech that goes viral, which in this day and age, unfortunately, would happen when Evan gets cut. And the coach, I will say, was a real dick about it. The way he cuts this kid, he goes, there's no, hey, come back next year, work on this and this. He just goes, yeah, if you can't do it at this age, you probably shouldn't be playing, find something you're good at. And I went, wow, what a fucking asshole. And he's not yelling at the kid or anything, but again, words do matter. And this kid is just fucking crushed. And I went, wow, okay. And so Alex, yes, while she has every right to be mad at the coach for how he handled that, and I fully acknowledge that she does, the fact that she goes out on the ice wearing not skates, by the way, but goes out on the ice and goes, don't bother. That's what you say to my son. You don't bother. And it humiliates Evan. And I felt really bad for him watching that because, she clearly cares. Like, she wants to be a great mom and just want to stick up for him in that moment. But as a character says later on in the episode, sometimes you gotta let your kid fight your battles and stand up for himself. So that was something I was like, all right, fair enough. We have to talk about Emilio Estevez. I'm such a fan of this dude. I really love me some Emilio Estevez. I mean, I was just on my friend Nathan, shout out to Mission Impossible, on their podcast to help review The Outsiders. And I forgot how much I enjoyed The Outsiders. And I really like Emilio Estevez in that. Of course, The Breakfast Club, Young Guns, technically all three Mighty Ducks films. Men at Work is another great one. He directed his dad, Martin Sheen, in The Way in 2010. And I would love to talk to Emilio about that. And a movie I think is very underrated is National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. That's a great fucking movie. Him and Samuel Jackson work so well together. But I'm really happy to see Emilio back in something. And I will say he stepped right back into the role. Like, there was no issue. Like, he never missed a beat. And I actually really appreciate that. Something I will say, too, about Bombay in this is that through this, reboot of the franchise, he's back to, he's kept all the memories and all that from the first three films, but he's back to being Bombay from the first Mighty Ducks film. And I appreciate that, cynicism included. He is a dick to Alex. And the reason that they go ahead and meet is that Alex is basically put on another errand by Stephanie and like, hey, go down this part of town and, help hand out these flyers to convince these renters to take this deal, even though they're getting screwed. These tenants are getting screwed. But she happens to look up and sees a ice rink sign because she needs to find a place for the kids, for Evan's, ragtag group of kids to go ahead and practice. And so she walks in this building, finds Emilio's Bombay, and that is the thing I will say for me that I enjoyed the most, is that yes, not only is he cynical, but he just hates hockey. The rink is something that he happens to just have, that he's able to get, enough money out of to basically function. It looks like he's staying there, even though they don't show a bed or anything. But yeah, it seems like he's staying there. He's eating old birthday cake that parents leave there. Like, Bombay's in rough shape, and I really like the reaction that Evan has when he meets Bombay later in the episode, and really marks out, oh my god, you're a legend, da da da. And they give you just a hint of how things went wrong, and that's something I'm really curious to see how they flesh that out, because if you saw the trailer for the show, it's very clear that things went wrong somewhere. And people forget, D3, he wasn't coaching the Ducks. So, because they were at Eaton Hall, Wow, I'm so hilariously sad I remember that still. But anyways, but Emilio Estevez is really good here. And the fact that he is such a dick to Alex actually made me laugh. She even brings up this point because he goes, yeah, I can't let you use this rink for hockey. And she goes, yeah, but you own, an ice rink. Why the hell would you just have no hockey if you don't like kids or hockey? And she goes, well, you go like, yeah, I know, weird, right? Like, he's just a total prick about it. And I actually really appreciated that. So if there's a big complaint I have already, which, I mean, it sucks I have this complaint already, but I didn't like that they were showing him be so nice this early on. I would have liked a nice full episode of Dickhead Bombay without any hint of him, potentially going, well, okay, I guess I'll be a little nicer. It does seem like he's still going to be a dick, but with something that he does near the end of the episode, I went, oh, I don't want you to do that just for me. And I know some people will just go, oh, come on, it's fine. The decision they make at the end of the episode, because it only doesn't focus on the kids, I don't believe enough, but it'll make that eventual turn, of course, Bombay makes to being, basically the Bombay we all know and love. I just thought it was a little early to hint at it, but apparently this first season's only 6 episodes, so I guess they got to kind of get to moving quick. So, but that's one of the few complaints I have about this. Some people are going to just go, well, this didn't check every box for me. And again, it is a premiere episode. Obviously, they have 5 more to make me go, okay, this is better. But I really enjoyed this. There's a lot to enjoy. The kids' chemistry works really well. I think it's actually very well shot. And the kids talk like kids, which is always something I'm kind of looking out for. They're not dropping a bunch of lingo or slang or anything like that. They're just talking like kids do. And that's something I actually really appreciated, because thank goodness. And there is one kid who's introduced, Logan, who's from Canada. Go figure. My brain immediately went to, Wolverine Logan. So him being from Canada, I went, cool, you're my favorite already. They do a trope with him, but they flip the trope on its head and on its ear. And I went, you know what? I like that. And they do admittedly kind of hint that they're going to flip the trope if you're paying attention, but I still like the way it's executed. So that was something I went, you know what? Well played, show. It's going to be really interesting to see how the kids do come to their own and how they become their own team. The team name is the Don't Bothers, which is after, what Alex said. And I do not like that. I pray that is not their final name. I hope they change it at some point. They find some excuse to, but yeah, I mean, really, outside of that, just a few complaints here and there. I really did enjoy this. And again, 6 episodes. I'll be watching the next one on Friday when it comes out. So expect a full review when the show's over. But for now, I'm gonna say B- because I just thought one other thing I didn't like. If they're gonna have Stephanie and there's an Indian parent on there too, before Evan got kicked off the team, but they have the minority parents being very much the minority parents, like really pushing their kids. They have the Asian mom being too hard on her kid, and they bring up that her kid actually has, I want to say, knee damage already, or something's wrong with her knee. So that's clearly going to be something they'll come back to. But yeah, so I don't want it to just be stereotype minority parents. I really hope that there's at least one minority parent who's in a stereotype who just is there for their kid, and they haven't shown that yet. So I'm kind of waiting on that. So come on, show, don't make me upset in that sense. But overall, though, I think this is a good show. I'm excited to see where it goes. Again, only 6 episodes. So you're, committing 3 hours to it, roughly, which, you know what? Cool. Why not? So I would watch this. I'd watch this if I was babysitting and be like, hey, kid, you'll probably like this. And all 3 Mighty Ducks films are on Disney Plus. So, have them watch the first 3 just so they can, be familiar with Bombay and just be familiar with the franchise and then put this on. I think there are worse ways to spend a day, but I'd give this a solid B minus. I think for what this is, it's not reinventing the wheel, but is a good adaptation and a good reboot from what I've seen so far. I just hope it can, it can, I was trying to make a flying V joke and I just can't think of anything right now. It's been a long day, but yeah, I'm actually excited to see where this goes. So yeah, B minus for me. But everyone, what did you think of the show? If you are watching it, what's your favorite Mighty Ducks movie? For me, it would be D2, not just because of the knuckle puck. Shout out to Kenan Thompson, but the coach, what was his name? Wasn't like nickname Iceman, something like that. Stan the Wolf something, I think it was, wasn't it? Like the guy's nickname was the Wolf. I do remember that, but the dentist. That's what it was. But anyways, I digress. D2 is my favorite one because of the knuckle puck and when the Iceland coach yells the goalie, like it's it's one of my favorite lines in the movie ever, and it kills me whenever I hear it. Actually, I'm gonna go watch that clip after this. But anyways, what's your favorite Mighty Ducks movie? Let us know in the comments. You can like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple. Don't forget to like our gaming page, Real Pineapple Games, on Facebook as well. Going to be streaming here next month, so that's April. I don't know when I'm going to stream, but I will keep you all updated on that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts, so SoundCloud, Apple and Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and TuneUp, to name a few, at The Real Pineapple. And don't forget to check out yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. That's REEL Pineapple. And don't forget to check out Scott on Twitter at Nearman. That's NEARMAN the first. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. We'll have reviews up here soon for all the Best Picture nominees. So I'll have a review up for Mank, review up for Judas and Black Messiah, review up for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Nomadland, all the Best Picture nominees as we get closer to Oscars on the 25th next month. It's crazy, it's already coming up. We'll have reviews up for the first 3 episodes of Invincible on Amazon. I'm really excited to get into that show as well. And once the season is over, we'll have a review up for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I am so excited to talk about that. I'm really excited to talk about that. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Take care of each other. Wear a mask. Stay safe. And we'll talk to you soon.